from the patterns I've carved. I will do better.
For someone to say here in the United States of America that they don't have access to apples and oranges and lettuce and tomatoes and carrots and potatoes and whole foods, we have to look at ourselves. We have to be the man in the mirror, look at ourselves and say, why don't certain communities have access to these whole foods, these healthy foods? It's going to make a difference in their health. Long term, short term, it's going to make a difference.
Linden is north of 670, east of 71, and west of 270.
So Linden is one of the higher food insecure neighborhoods and communities in Columbus.
It's important, especially for low-income communities, to have easily accessible, in the physical terms, places to get food.
If we're talking about food insecurity, we're talking about food access. It's a run-on sentence that talks about affordability, education, accessibility, and transportation.
A lot of people in Linden are low-income people. Some may not have a car to drive those distances. It means they have to go by bus to get fresh produce, which is a challenge in itself.
Half of the people rely on the transportation systems in Linden. Your life has to fit around that quota schedule. So you got to take 2 buses to a Kroger's. How much can you really carry back on those buses to get back home? So that makes you resort to using the corner family dollar stores or Dollar General stores.
Yeah, affordability is quite important because if you cannot afford something, you cannot have it.
Affordability has to be there to create approachability, to create accessibility, which is the keystone and kind of the anchor of food insecurity. It's not only just having physical access, but it's tied to being able to build into my natural habits, the habits that are convenient for me and my family and fits my lifestyle. That's when my decisions for my food choices become autonomous. That's when my decisions become what I purchase is in my power to create a meal for my family.
People from low-income neighborhoods may be on food stamps. Generally, fresh, good foods cost more than unhealthy foods. So the choice before you is, where do I put the little money I have? And most times the option is to buy what is more affordable, what is less costly, which very often end up to be the unhealthy choice to make.
Everyone just sees healthful food as organic food and organic food as expensive. And affordability is tied to that because organic food is expensive. And so what we encourage is individuals, pay extra if you can pay extra. That increases demand in that area, which hopefully ultimately brings down that cost. It's more accessible for everyone.
A couple of years back when Kroger closed, most of Linden became a desert of fresh food.
We've had big groceries that have moved out of Linden, so there's been a bit of an exodus of food access.
So Linden would be considered a food desert. It was already considered a food desert when the Kroger was open, and then the Kroger closed, and so the only grocery store that was left was Save-A-Lot, and then there was a couple other small corner stores, I would call them, but access to fresh food and the ability to choose where you're going to shop, which is a luxury a lot of neighborhoods have, kind of went away.
Big part of our work is through education is hopefully kind of building this silent revolution where individuals are understanding and being able to be more critical of the food systems that we're working in.
If you live in a place that this is not your issue, this is your issue.
You will do better in